What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be talking about Medicare compliance when it comes to actually selling Medicare Advantage versus Medicare Supplement programs. Now, once again, Medicare Supplement plans are offered by private insurance companies. They're standardized by the government, but they are not given any extra money from the government. And so when it comes to selling Medicare Supplement plans, like if you were to go knock on people's doors, anything goes. You can sell a Medicare Supplement plan to anybody. You could say whatever you want about them. There are no regulations as far as Medicare is concerned. There are no regulations as far as Medicare is concerned when it comes to Medicare supplement plans. However, when it comes to Medicare Advantage plans and Medicare Part D prescription drug plans, they are subsidized by the government, meaning the government gives those plans money for each person, each enrollee that they bring onto those plans. So with that being said, they offer a lot of free benefits and services. So CMS, the Center for Medicare Services, has very specific rules on how you can market Medicare Advantage plans and Medicare Part D drug programs. The main thing when it comes to Medicare Advantage plans is the enrollee or the beneficiary, the person you are selling, is supposed to reach out to you first. That is why they do not want people going door to door selling Medicare Advantage plans and saying, oh, you can get X, Y, and Z things. They have to reach out to you first. So what does that mean for what we do and how we sell Medicare Advantage plans? So for our sales presentation, we are going to the door as benefits coordinators, and we are leading the product we are there for is either final expense that they've written in for, or if they're turning 65 and you're knocking T65 leads, Medicare supplement plans. You are not allowed to knock on the door and say, hey, I work with Medicare Advantage plans, or I work with Medicare, and start talking about the free dental and vision and things that they could get. You cannot say that at the door. You can't say, oh, I'm with this company or that company and we represent Medicare Advantage plans. You cannot talk or even reference Medicare Advantage plans, especially at the door. Now, when you're in the house and you're talking to the client about their different benefit programs and dental and vision and things like that, if they start asking you questions about Medicare Advantage, you need to make sure that they sign a scope of appointment. And starting October 1st, 2023, you actually need to have them sign a scope of appointment 48 hours before you had the actual meeting. So you need to be clearly communicating with these clients what exactly that you're talking about. Hey, I'm talking about Medicare Advantage plans, Ms. Johnson. These are really regulated by the state, and I can get a lot of trouble if I don't communicate this to you directly. So they have a lot of great benefits, but I need you to know that we're talking about this, and I need you to sign this scope of appointment form before I could talk to you about it anymore. But since you're asking me about this, we can move forward and talk about this. Now, keep in mind, if you end up selling them a Medicare Advantage plan, you need to wait 48 hours after that to sell them a final expense plan. You cannot sell both products in the same appointment. However, if you sell them a final expense plan first, and then it is a separate appointment, it is not clear what Medicare means by a separate appointment on that. It could be a day, it could be 2 days. They have not made that very clear. But if you sell them final expense first, then they are a client in your book of business. And then you can sell them a Medicare Advantage plan after that, allowing for a scope of appointment and whatnot. But keep in mind, October 1st, you need to have a 48-hour notice on a scope of appointment. And just across the board, guys, when it comes to Medicare Advantage plans, I would say be careful who you're dealing with as a client. Obviously, we want to help people, but we want to avoid Karens or people that are going to cause us a lot of problems or say we're doing things that we are not doing. That is something that is very, very important, because if there is a person who maybe they have another agent and the agent knows how to complain about you and they're using the client's word, it only takes 1 or 2 clients to have a bad word against you to where you could lose your entire Medicare book of business and possibly your health insurance license. So we do not want to mess with this at all. This is very serious in terms of complying with CMS guidelines. Another thing in these houses is you need to be clear about the benefits. You cannot use terms like preferred plans or anything like that. You need to be very specific with what you are telling the clients are available with these plans. When the fall comes around and we're in these houses, we are going to need to have them sign a scope of appointment form 48 hours before you enroll them. So that could be on a PDF, scope of appointment form. That could be through Medicare Center or Jarvis with United Healthcare or any of the other company platforms that you choose to enroll your client through. For me, I use primarily Medicare Center, and then I will use Jarvis as well when I'm signing up United Healthcare clients. And finally, guys, when it comes to enrolling people in Medicare Advantage plans, we are technically supposed to be leaving enrollment information with the client. So whether that's you have the booklets and you leave them with the client on their specific plan, or you email that to them, you need to make sure you're leaving that information. Now, from time to time, if you don't have that in your cart or you forget, this is where it comes. We want to make sure that we're always getting it to them, but we're dealing with clients that are going to be gracious with us and not hold our feet to the fire on any little mistake we may make, especially if they're working with another agent who in bad blood is trying to catch a mistake or something we made, because again, it's very strict when it comes to CMS guidelines. We still have a really incredible opportunity before us in terms of being able to help people. We just need to make sure that we are following the rules and completely complying and working with clients that are already in our book of business. And if you get referrals, you need to remember they need to reach out to you. You cannot call somebody and say, hey, Miss Johnson, I worked with your friend and I helped him with this plan. I was hoping to get you the same plan. You can't do that. The client needs to tell their friend or their referral to reach out to you. That is the underlying theme when it comes to all Medicare Advantage programs. This is not something we want to mess with. It is not worth losing your license and losing your book of business. We want to play by the book. So that's all I have for you when it comes to Medicare compliance. You need to remember a couple of things. Lead with final expense or Medicare supplements. Cannot talk at all about Medicare Advantage plans at the door. You need to be clear about the plans you're signing them up for and get a scope of appointment. And third, you need to make sure you're leaving them with the proper enrollment information. That's all I have for you with this video. We just want to make sure we're being real clear. So always follow these rules and you'll be all right and have a wonderful book of business. I'll see you next week.